Hey folks, this is Mason Weaver and welcome to another live broadcast. I am eager to talk to you today because a lot of things are happening in our world and I got my little notes up here and I want to take a look at things. Have you heard? Apparently the Muslims are stuck at the airport. Gee, they're stuck at the airport. I'm wondering, how did they ever survive without the demonstrators and protesters and band of lawyers trying to help them find their way through the airport? Poor people. You would think, if you watched the news today and last night, you would think that President Trump issued an executive order stopping everybody from traveling worldwide instantly. Out of the hundreds of thousands of people flying around yesterday, you had 109 people delayed at the airport because they didn't have their papers straight or we didn't understand. Don't forget, if we cannot figure out who you are, you can't come in. New chef in town. So the whole world, spontaneous demonstrations nationwide. You believe that? Came up to try to demonstrate and protest for the 2 or 3 people at their airport who could not get in. New game, folks. And let me say some things here that I think everyone is thinking. This is why we don't like the press. This is why we don't trust the press. This is why all of you celebrities are just taking the opportunity to tell us who we should not watch, who we should not view on TV, whose movies we should not go to. This is an American revolution, and we're fighting back. And we do not care that you don't like it. We don't care if it's an inconvenience. You had a mosque shooting in Canada last night. Someone came in and killed half dozen Muslims while they were worshiping. And the media and the mayor of Quebec, they're all bending over backwards to say, we're not like that. We're peaceful. All Muslims are welcome. Gee, I did not see them. And because I did not see them at Boston comforting Americans, because I did not see them at San Bernardino comforting Americans, because I did not see them at Boston comforting Americans, I do not care if it is wimpy liberal clowns nationwide bending over backwards to make sure Muslims know they don't like them, they're not mean. Now the reason they're doing this, the reason these wimpy liberals are doing this is because liberalism is an abusive belief system. You have to be mentally, physically beaten down, and you are scared of your abuser, and the only way you can react is just to go along. So they're saying they don't want to upset the Muslims. They may cut their heads off. They may walk into their homes with a bomb. They may throw them off of buildings or burn them alive. They are afraid, but they're not afraid of you because they know you're peaceful. So they go out of their way to tell the Muslims, we're not mean. We don't care, folks. Let me say it what we all believe. We don't care that you don't like what we're doing any longer. We're not trying to be your friends. We're not trying to find common ground with the liberals. We're not trying to reach out to the liberals. I am not trying to come together with liberals. You cannot come together with liberals. They will never agree with you. We all know that the same thing that Trump said, Obama said about immigration at one point, and so did Bill Clinton. And liberals did not get upset. Schumer did not say unconstitutional. Starbucks, they'll say we're going to hire 10,000 more people. No. When President Carter did it, no one said anything. So we know the inconsistency is that liberals are lying. They're not arguing about immigration. They're arguing about they hate America. They want more of these hating Americans in this country. Muslims that hate America should not be here. Those that love America should be here if they wish. But bottom line on immigration, bottom line, this is my home. This is my country. And whatever reason you have to compel you to want to come here, it's my country. And we're not going to apologize. We're not going to be shamed. We're not going to be forced into allowing you in when we don't want you in. It's our country, and we do not have to have a good reason. Did you hear what the Chancellor of Germany did? This woman called President Trump to inform him. You got it? She called President Trump to inform him that the United States was required to allow Muslims in based on the UN treaty. With a straight face, she said that to President Trump. You are required due to the UN agreement. No, ma'am. This is our country. And we will make no excuses. We will not apologize for it. This is America. It is for Americans only and our invited guests when we invite them. So we're not going to take this mess. You got headlines now, man. Supreme Court is going to have to weigh in on this. You have headlines that the world's in an uproar. Schumer's cries. Those metrosexual men you have in Congress. Lily Tomlin says, what has she done lately? She called it Nazis. What else? Anybody know who she is? Lily Tomlin? Who's this? Folks, I heard there's a Super Bowl game coming up pretty soon. I have not watched a single play this year of football. Not a single play. Not a pass rush. Not a pass caught. Not one. Because it's only a game. And when these gamers came up and disrespected my flag and tried to pull more Americans into this delusion that America is wrong, I had a choice. Man, my grandkids on a doggone game. I have not watched one game. We have not gone to one movie this year. If Hollywood declares war on me, we fight back. So don't let them, folks, don't let them come to you and say to you that we have to get together and be sure we're nice. We don't want to give ISIS a propaganda tool. We don't want to give ISIS a propaganda tool. Why don't we just get rid of ISIS? You're worried about a propaganda tool like they need one to hate you. They need one. You think they need one? It's a game. And we know it's a game, folks. Relax. We know what's going on. We're worried that our neighbor may be pulled away by the garbage in the press. But we know, and they know, the neighbors. We got this. Trump stood up, and everybody who had influence over you was against him. Everybody who had the ability to communicate to you on radio, TV, press, everyone was against him. The Republican establishment was against him and still is. The Democratic Party was against him and still is. The donor base was against him. The polling base was against him. Television was against him. Everyone but us. And we defeated every one of those Republican candidates. We defeated the RNC. We defeated the donor base. We defeated the Republican establishment. We defeated the press. We defeated the Democrats. They have been defeated. So we're no longer caring about what they think about us. They're supposed to not like us. We have freed their slaves. Democrats have not been upset since the last time we freed their slaves. So they're screaming and squirming and screaming like little children, but we do not care. Protest, demonstrate. Hope you catch a cold out there. It's cold outside. Act a fool. We don't care. This is civil war. And when the dust settles and you have been vanquished, we will rebuild the country. We will build our children's future. We will build this nation. We're going to rebuild our military. We're going to pump our oil. We're going to create jobs here. Starbucks creating 10,000 jobs. They're bragging that they're creating 10,000 jobs for refugees. In your face, America, they're saying to you, we're going to give them special treatment. Foreigners. I mean, why wouldn't they? We gave special treatment to illegal aliens in California. School, education, jobs. And the reason they're doing it is not because they have compassion. They want more Democratic voters. They will give your soul. They will sell your soul for a vote. We have vanquished them from power. Let's make sure that we take a pledge never to allow them back at the table of decision making. They do not qualify to be at the table of decision making. This is a civil war, folks. It's a clash. It's not a war of cultures. It's a war for culture. It's not a battle of civilizations. It's a battle for civilizations. Have you seen enough to know you cannot make peace until they surrender to us? This is Mason Weaver. We're going to have an Ask Mason Anything segment coming up pretty soon. And I want you to tune in, ask me your questions. We have a lot of things happening in the future that I cannot share with you right now. But I am looking forward to hear from all of you. God bless you. Stay right or be left, because eternity is a long time to be wrong. Take care now.